Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to another scooter video. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys how to grip tape your scooter. My grip tape's a little bit beat up and definitely could use some refreshing, so we're gonna slap on a new sheet and be good to go. But in this video, unlike my last video, I'm gonna be showing you guys a couple of different tricks and tips and different ways of styles of putting on grip tape, because in my last video I only showed one way, and since then I feel like there's a couple of different techniques that you might utilize better. If you have a different head tube cutout or something, it might be a little bit easier to use a different style. So I'm gonna be going over a couple of different ways that you guys could use for your own scooter deck, because it's not that hard. Really, grip tape is one of the most I'd say easier parts of like doing on a scooter that you could do at home as well. Replacing your grip tape can really make an impact on your riding. There's definitely a few advantages to putting a new sheet of grip tape on. Sometimes, you know, when you're landing a trick and your feet just kind of blow right off, new grip tape will definitely help with that. It'll help secure your feet, and also when you're just riding and pumping through bowls, you're gonna have that extra grip feel, so it's gonna be just all around a little bit better. And you know, it's really important actually to change your grip tape. It's such a small thing, and really it's one of the cheapest things you can do on your scooter to make your scooter feel like fresh again. And why wouldn't you do it? It's cheap, it's easy, and like I'm going to show you right here, it's really simple to put on. But if you guys can go to raptureproscooters.com and pick up yourself a fresh sheet of Rapture grip tape, it'll look like this, and it's super nice, it lasts really long. I've had it on this deck since I've got the deck, so yeah, I mean, that says a lot right there. It's pretty beat up and it's lasting a while. But let's get right into slapping this grip tape on. All right, now that we're at our little workstation right here, we're gonna talk about the things that we're gonna need first off. So for starters, you're gonna need some kind of razor blade, scissors, X-Acto knife, something that's gonna be able to cut the grip tape on the sides. Up next, we're looking at some scissors. We're gonna need some scissors. Grab a cheap pair of scissors. Don't grab some nice haircut scissors. Your parents probably won't like you for that. But grab some old scissors. Then get yourself a hand file. I like to use this for the sides. It helps kind of like get those edges that the scissors and the razor blade aren't able to quite get around. Up next, we're gonna need some Sharpies, you know, your preference, color, just whatever you need. After that, we got a right angle. So what's cool about the right angle is you can lay it on the deck over here like this right here. And when you're sizing up the new grip tape, if you have a really like unique head tube, you can, I'll show you in a little bit how, but it helps line up the lines to make sure you get it right the first time, so you don't have to take the grip tape back off. You can also use a roller. Right angle is just a little bit special, but roller works just as well. Up next, we got a little cotton ball right here, so we can clean up the deck after we take the grip tape off, and after that, we got some rubbing alcohol to actually clean the deck. And of course, last but not least, we have the grip tape. This is, of course, is Rapture Pro Scooter grip tape, and we're gonna be reapplying it to my deck and gonna be good to go. But first, let's talk about what we're gonna do to prep the deck. So starting out, we gotta take the grip tape off. There's a couple ways that we can do this. Step one, we can either use a hair dryer and just like zzz the top and make it all warm. But if you're like me and you're in Ohio right now, it is summertime, and right now it is so hot, so all I have to do is just lay this thing in the sun. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. And we're back. Now that we got it all heated up, this thing is really hot and warm. This grip tape's gonna peel off like butter. So we'll start from the corners, and it's a good thing to get it heated up. It helps the grip tape come off like in one piece as opposed to like a million little pieces, which is never fun, because then you have to like you just sit there with like your little fingernails and pick it for hours and rip off little pieces. So this is gonna make this a lot easier. You guys will see right here, it comes off pretty smooth. Look at that. One nice piece of grip tape right here coming off. Looking good. Still super grippy, so that stuff's definitely got a nice strong hold. Woo! And look at that. One piece. Let's see if we can straighten this out. Just a quick comparison. I'm going to show you guys what the old grip tape looks like versus what the new grip tape looks like. Look at that. That is very different. This stuff is so clean, and this stuff is definitely worn. And since I've put this grip tape on originally, I have cleaned it a couple times. If you guys want to know how to clean your grip tape, I have a video tutorial on that. You guys can click the video either in the description or at the end of this video. Check that out. But now we are done with this, so let's set this off to the side. Alright, now for the fun part. Now we actually get to put the grip tape on. So for starters, we're going to clean this up. So let's grab our good old cotton ball in here, and then we're going to put some rubbing alcohol on this. It helps you give a little bit better of adhesion between the grip tape to deck if you do clean it first. It's not mandatory, you don't have to really do that, but I like to do it. It just makes it stick a little bit better and kind of helps get off any of that grime that got underneath the grip tape while you were changing it out. Perfect, nice and clean. We're gonna let that air dry just for a split second while we prep the new grip tape. But I'm sure you guys can see I have a lot of holes in my deck. Now, personal preference, I actually don't punch the holes out in my scooter deck. I usually just leave it, and if they happen to punch out, I'll cut them all out. But when that time comes, but normally I actually just leave the sheet on. I feel like it gives me a little bit of extra grip because even in the holes, the grip tape's still there. But really, that's just personal preference. It's not the big deal either way. But yeah, if you guys want to get some holes in your Rapture deck, you guys go to RaptureProScooters.com and pick up a Rapture deck and just add the deck holes to your option in the cart, and it makes it super light. This thing is seriously the lightest deck I've ever rode. So this is actually a prototype. There's more details in this in another video. I made a custom build video, but this is just a little prototype, but this is what I'm working with right now. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump right into the actual grip tape now. So I also have a second sheet of grip tape. This is just a misprint, and I use it as a guide. This is how I do it just because I do Rapture decks all the time, so I have one cutout. So that is one option you guys can do. You guys can have a guide. If you have a deck that you like of choice, you can keep one cutout of grip tape and or cardboard or anything, just lay it on top and you know, stencil that out, and it's super easy. You just cut that out and then you lay it on and it'll look like that, and it's just already perfectly positioned. But for most people, you do not ride the same deck every single time and not the same grip tape every time, so you wouldn't have that. So what we're going to do right here is I'm going to show you a couple of different ways that you can go about getting the grip tape on your deck seamlessly without any bubbles or any miscuts or anything. So starting out, we got to make sure first our grip tape is big enough and wide enough for our deck. My deck is 19.5 by 4.75 wide, and it fits perfectly on here because this is a perfect sheet of Rapture grip tape. Now what we're going to do right here is, for starters, if you do not have a stencil to cut out your grip tape, there's two ways that you can do it besides that. The first way is you can actually take the backing off the grip tape, start to work it down like this, lay it down on the back first, and then press it down, press it down. Once you get to the top, what you would do then is you would take your file or something that you can just rough up the sides over here. You'd get the sides right here ruffled up, and then you would cut it out with your blade. You'd go straight down, cut it down, and then you get the sides to lay down flush. Once the sides are down, you can then fine tune, go around the welds right here. That way you can get the grip tape to lay flush. It's a little bit tedious, and I personally don't like that route, but that is custom to each deck. So if you have a really weird head tube that goes out to the sides or something crazy, you can go around it and get a full deck grip tape without having to do, like, you know, the half sheets, which I don't really like, but that's your preference if you like that. But that's one way you can do it to get around the welds if you have a really unique weld. Another way is, this is actually a great way to make a stencil. We got the deck right here. We got our nice little right angle or any kind of ruler measuring device. We got our Sharpies. Now what we're gonna do right here, we're gonna lay our grip tape up to the side. And we're gonna start out first by just taking our right angle, going up to the farthest point of the weld that we're gonna have our grip tape at. And then once, we're gonna flip our grip tape over. Now we're gonna find the area that our grip tape, we're gonna overhang it just about 1/4 of an inch. That way we have enough playroom to go with. And now we're gonna take our Sharpie right here, and we're just gonna mark a little mark on the corner. This is gonna let us know how far we need to cut our grip tape down when it actually comes to cutting it out. There's the little square. So now we got this one little mark right here, which is perfect. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go up to the top up here. Well, first off, what we're gonna do is we're gonna find the center. I just like to find the center. So on the grip tape, you're just gonna fold it over, make a little impression on the halfway mark. Just something I like to do, and then you just put a little mark there if you want to. Kind of helps. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna line it up straight down the middle, and we're gonna put 2 markers now on where the end of the welds are. So you can either use your ruler or just eyeball it. For right now, I'm gonna eyeball it because this isn't the most technical thing. We're just gonna get 2 little notches on the side right here and here. And now I'll get close for you guys to see. As you guys can see right here, I have a mark right here, here, and here, and then one in the center. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna take our right angle or just ruler in general and just draw a straight line here and then 2 lines down. This is going to be our neck right here. and that's the size that our cutout's gonna need to be. All right, so what we're gonna do right here, we're gonna now use our ruler and just take our Sharpie again, and we are going to now draw a line straight across this grip tape, just so we know where that neck and how far we actually wanna go down it is. All right, now we're gonna do the same to the sides over here to get that neck. All right, now you guys can see that we got the neck right here. It's gonna be perfectly square because we got the measurements right. So now all we have to do is just round the corners right here and we're good to go. And then we can just lay the grip tape on, and I'll show you guys how to do that now. But because I also have this little extra stencil, I'm gonna just lay it on top, make sure I did everything right, and we look perfect. That is literally exactly what the measurements are showing. Now the fun part, we actually gotta cut the grip tape. So what we're gonna do right here, again, take some old scissors and just give it a little trim. We're gonna go straight down our line that we created right here. We're gonna start to curve it around, get that neck in there. Awesome. We got a little extra sheet. We can use this to rough up the edges on when we're done. But yeah, just like that. We now have a perfect little cutout, and check this out. Now we have grip tape that looks like it was straight up made for this deck and the weld. So we're good to go now. Let's go ahead and take off this bottom sheet and get to gripping. All right, so what we're gonna do right here for actually applying this sheet of grip tape onto the deck, we're gonna first start out by just taking off a corner. Start small. You don't want to go big. You don't want to take off the entire sheet first. That's just a good way to get bubbles and all kinds of nasty stuff under grip tape, which we ain't trying to do here. We're trying to give a clean grip tape job. So what we're gonna do right here, we're gonna lay it on, lay it up by the weld, get it positioned to how you want it, looking good. Now I like to just press a little bit. Now what I want to make sure we do, make sure the grip tape on both sides has enough overhang. We're good on both sides, it looks like. So I'm gonna just straighten out just a little bit more, make sure we're good. And now that we got this laying down, now the fun part begins. What we're gonna do right here is it's gonna be like all one motion. We're going to take just the little bit of grip right here, and we're gonna push down. And as we slowly come back, we're gonna move our hand back with it. And this is gonna help prevent bubbles, and as well keep from any like nasty, gross things getting stuck underneath your grip tape. So as this is going on, we're just slowly pushing it back. Looking good. Perfect. And now our grip tape is on. So that's the best way to apply grip tape. It keeps you from getting bubbles, and as you can see right here, there's no bubbles, and it is already on. I like to do a final press down. Make sure you press down on every spot. Make sure it gets that full adhesion. For me, because I have the speed holes in my deck, I can actually see the speed holes like appear when I push down, and that's how I know I'm pushing hard enough to get it actually to stick on good. You can also use, like, if you have your fork and your wheel, you can just like run it over. That helps get out air bubbles too if you get any. And then so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna file down the sides, trim them off, and we're done. So it's that easy. So let's first, I'm gonna take my palm again. I'm gonna go on the back end. This helps get the back dropouts kind of sized up to how we need them. And now you can kind of see it a little bit. You can see that back dropouts in formation there. All right, now what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab our good old file and razor. So we're gonna start out first by just doing this. All right, now we're gonna do that around the entire deck, and then once we're done, I'll come back. All right, perfect. Now we have the grip tape on the deck, and it's completely filed on all the sides. So now when we run our razor blade through it, it's gonna cut through like butter. But first, before we actually get our razor blade out, we're gonna peel up all these edges, just so it makes it a little bit easier to actually get our blade under and take them off. So just use your fingers and rough them up a little bit. Perfect. Now I'm gonna set up a second angle for you guys so you guys can see my blade actually go through and cut it through. All right, perfect. So now we got our blade ready. We're good to go. Let's go ahead and start off on the corner up here. Perfect. All right, now's the fun part. We get to run it all the way down. Look at that. Oh, that's so clean. Yes. One nice clean cutaway. Now we're gonna save this little strip of grip tape right here. What we're gonna use that for is to rough up the edges as soon as we're done. Just gonna get the other side now. Yes, looking good. Looking good, looking good. All right, what we're gonna do now that we've got the grip tape completely on, we're just gonna run it over one last time with the blade. Make sure I didn't miss any of these edges. Keep the blade at about a 45-degree angle. Again, when you're just cutting it to begin with, you keep it like not straight on, not completely sideways. Right here with the deck, you're gonna go straight 45. Keeps that angle perfect for cutting. you're good to go. Make sure the other side's good. This is also a great way to clean up. So right here, just, yep, like right there, missed a little spot. So it's perfect to clean that up. Keep that blade at 45, keep this nice straight line. Perfect. And then again, we'll touch up the nose up here, looking good. Perfect, looking good. That is now on. Our grip tape is done. That looks super fresh. That was a clean turnout grip tape. But we're not done yet. One last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our strap, our little scrap that I told you guys about earlier. We're gonna stick it on our fingers, and now we're just gonna go on the sides right here real quick and do this motion. All right, so what this is gonna do right here is it's going to help us by not letting the grip tape peel up, because sometimes when you have a rough edge, the grip tape will actually start to peel up, getting water under it or something. So we're just making sure that doesn't happen. And now we are officially done. Grip tape is on, it looks fresh, super grippy. Once again, you can kind of feel that extra little bit of grip that wasn't there before. So we're good to go. I'm super stoked to now slap this on my scooter and give it a good ride. Hopefully you guys learned a couple tips and tricks here that maybe I didn't teach in my last video. So this is a nice little update. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys learned anything new, drop it down in the comments. Or if you guys even have your own little tips that you use when you're installing your own grip tape, I would love to hear them. And I'm sure everybody else looking through the comments would love to see those tips. So be kind, share those tips with us, and I'll be sure to make more, scooter tutorials just like this. We'll be doing more trick tutorials as well. So stick around, consider subscribing, make sure to like this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later. One last look. See you later.